Hey everyone, welcome back to more Star Dynasties Bloodlines. That's the Bloodlines DLC. I'm DisturbingPuppet, so we're going to start a new campaign today. This is a game that's very much like Crusader Kings, but with a sci-fi setting, so you do family relationships, all that kind of thing to deal with. Now, I haven't played this in quite a while. I've kind of been drugged back to it because I sort of felt the call, but I did notice that my video, the first video on this that I did, has actually gotten quite a few views and continues to get views, so there's definitely a lot of people out there interested in this game. It's definitely an interesting game. It's flawed in some ways, but it's very interesting. I am pretty rusty, so we'll kind of see how it goes. We're going to set up a new game and a new family and go from there. And I do have an idea for our new family, so we have something interesting we're going to try. So we're just going to go medium, nothing too crazy. We are going to use that. So, new start. All right. So I'm going to play around with this, and we'll come back and show you what I have. There's multiple pages of this that we're going to do, and I'll hopefully surprise you with the family that we come up with. Okay, welcome to the Scrooge Sovereignty. So we're going to do a faction that I think we're going to focus mainly on money, secondarily research. So that's kind of the idea. So our family house is Scrooge, and this is Shining Money. I guess we could have done the Mr. Krabs, but we have great infrastructure. So extra installations in our home system and one repaired from the get-go, so we do have that little benefit. We do have a negative down here as well. We've got blue dust mines, so extra wealth and less unrest. We're mineral rich, so extra wealth. We are bean counters, so even more income. But we do have a historical act of cruelty in our past. So your house is widely famous for abandoning millions to die in the chaos during the collapse. While that may be in the distant past, you'll never escape the sin of your forebears, so -10 reputation. So a bit of a negative there. So let's go ahead and move on to our main character. We'll go ahead and set up Ebenezer Scrooge. So here we have a young Ebenezer Scrooge, and we have him set up for focusing on administration, which is what gives us money. Tax income, basically, is what this is focused on. So we do have a few traits here. So we are individualistic, and we'll kind of run down. So individualistic, character feels responsible primarily for themselves. They have a fondness for their kin, but feel no strong obligation towards them. They're also less likely to want more children, more likely to ask for divorce. So it doesn't make too much of a difference. Other individualistic people like him, tribal people don't. That's about it. He's greedy, so extra administration, but some -2 diplomacy. Character is a hoarder and places a high value in owning material wealth. They'll go to great lengths to acquire it and will guard it jealously. So it does affect our opinions from everyone else. Then we are intelligent, so just a nice bonus across the way. This character is brighter than their peers, performing better at anything they turn their minds to. That offsets some of the negatives, but we really want to focus on getting administration up and sort of making up for some of those other negatives we have in diplomacy. And we have energetic, so +2 action points, so we can do a lot more stuff. So on to our family. So I think what we're just going to do is generate a balanced family and kind of go from there. I don't think we want to do anything too crazy. Yeah, give me just a balanced. I don't want to do like random stuff and then fix everything, so we'll do generate a balanced family. So we'll go with this. I have 8 points available. I'm not sure what we can do. Add child, add spouse, adjust somebody. Let me take a look, see if there's anything I want to change, like especially if you have a spouse, I might want to adjust them a little bit. Adjust. Okay, nothing drastic. I had a few points for family stuff, so I did make a few adjustments. I think I gave, so it looks like I have twin daughters, and I just gave, one of them had intelligent, one of them didn't, so I gave her intelligent, and then I changed, I'm assuming my brother could be a cousin up here to being more of a diplomat focused, because we don't have a lot of diplomacy, and diplomacy is probably going to be a weak point in our family because of that horrible past that we have. So let's go ahead and jump in. It may take us a little while to figure out what's going on, family relationships, all that kind of stuff. But we'll take a look once we get in. I might have to just jump into the family tree right away. So yeah, in this game, we're not actually controlling planets, kind of like Dune or something like that. We're actually controlling like these habitats. So this is kind of like the inside of a habitat. That are the only things left where humanity is surviving. So we're kind of barely holding on inside these broken, trashed habitats that we're trying to fix up and repair and keep running. But there are family and military and all that kind of stuff going on. So we do have a lot of things we can do. So I'm assuming there's our Scrooge sovereignty. So we can't see the entire map here from the beginning. We do have quite a few other people around us. We don't have a whole lot of stuff. 5 systems. We're actually over our vassal, which is not great. So, like I said, it's been a while since I've played. So I think what we probably want to do, we've got family we can assign. We kind of need to do that. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. People we can marry off. We need to add counselors. Too many direct vassals, that can change. Terabellum and Izar. But they're inside my territory, so I don't know why would they be necessarily hostile to me. Okay, like I said, it's been a long time since I've looked at this, so I need to try to find where stuff is. I'm pretty sure there's a way I can look at my family tree somewhere. So I have a lot of actions that I can do personally. My family tree's here somewhere. Relationships. Family. I want to see a family tree, though. Yes, show the family tree. Okay, so where am I? That's a good question. Okay, I'm here. So I have my 2 daughters. So I am married to someone who is from the Galloway Alliance. So we have good relationships with them. That's probably partially why. So my wife is from there. We've already got 2 daughters. So the Galloway Alliance is good for us. My father's still around, but I should be in charge, I think. So I'm assuming he's like retired. So my stats, 44 diplomacy, 17 military, 44 administration, 17 military, 1 is for my diplomacy, 11 security, 17 is for research and tech and stuff. So I don't have a mother, apparently. I just have a father. And I have a sister, Atana, a brother, Laszlo, and then I have my sister-in-law's father. Okay, so you're married. Where are you from? So you're from the Tanner Coalition. So we're married into the Tanner Coalition and the Galloway Alliance. Okay. So we're married into both of these already. So we're fairly safe on that front. Let me kind of look around and try to figure out what's going on with everything else, and then we'll come back. Okay, have some basic ideas of what's going on. So we haven't appointed any counselors yet. That's the first thing we're going to do. So I do have enough action points that we can do that. I think for all of them, I think it's 2 each. Yeah, so I am a very energetic person, so we can do that and appoint everybody. So this is our overall position in the universe. Things are okay. We've got various different families in charge. We're in charge of DeCrux, which is our capital. Nothing too crazy going on. We haven't appointed people yet, but even without doing anything, we're positive on cash. I do have too many vassals, so that is kind of a negative, but once we change things around, that will fix things. We'll probably have you as our leader. Nothing too crazy. Line of succession goes to our eldest daughter. So if we want to look at DeCrux specifically, so we have the largest fleet out of our various different groups inside of our territory. We do have the Galway Alliance connected to us because of marriage. And I think we've also got... We might even have... Are there any Tanner people in here? Yeah, there are. I'm not sure if that could be a minor house. No, that's Galway Alliance. Okay. Tanner Coalition, Galway Alliance. They just look very similar. All right. Doing fine there. Anything else crazy going on? Population unrest is going up. We can try to fix that. Notable houses inside. I don't know if this is for... I think that's just DeCrux. So notable houses on DeCrux. Is it here? Yes. So our house, House Skinner, House Kirk is around. Nothing too crazy going on. We can still do a lot of things. Overall, I think we're in an okay position because we are at peace with the Tanner Coalition and the Galway Alliance. I would like to have somebody I could pick on early on, or maybe try to do something with to expand. We definitely want to expand. We can also just improve territory inside of our sovereignty here and make things a lot better. We start with a lot of things that are not working. So, like our home planet, we've got the main settlement, a hidden hangar, a laboratory, an armory, and then there's a whole bunch of things that aren't working because they need to be repaired. So we have a lot of stuff set up, including some of those things we paid for, like the blue dust mine and that kind of thing. So those things will help. And then there's stuff on the other systems as well that we can repair inside of our own territory. We can also kind of keep things under control. Unrest is not bad. Let's take a look here. Generally, I'm disliked. So, I mean, that's sort of unfortunate. We've got nothing going on there. No secrets, no inheritance craziness. Yeah, pretty much everything's fine. Everything is fine to start with. So we do have a few potential problems. I am only 25. It is nice to have kids already, so I don't have to worry about it too much. But let's go ahead and start appointing people, I think. So I think the main one, the most important thing is going to be diplomacy. Who is my best diplomat? So it's going to go ahead and show me from the top down who the best people are. So my sister is the best at 39. So that makes sense. We don't have any problems. I mean, she does generally kind of dislike me, but everybody kind of dislikes me. That'll change over time, hopefully. So yeah, appoint my sister. You've appointed your sister to head of diplomacy for House Scrooge. All right, so that makes her happier with me. Part of this could be that people might be unhappy with me because they haven't been given positions yet, and they're part of like the main family. So that definitely helps. Administration, like I'm already quite good. My wife wants something. Actually, what is my wife best at? She's actually really good at security, so I might want to give her a security job. Let me see if I was. To go security. Yeah, she's the highest there. So 23 would be secondary, my niece. Over here, we could just go my niece at 22, or my father. He might be better at something else. You kind of want to look and see what people are good at. He's actually really good at military, so yeah, he needs to probably be military. Let me take a look, actually. If I go to my family, so you should be military. Probably science. I need to give her a job. She's actually pretty good administrator. I'm not sure who I'm going to throw in administration. So my father, Hillary Scrooge, is just a beast when it comes to the military. So yes, absolutely. So my father is head of the military. My wife has to be on the council. Just not sure if I want to throw her in security or we want to do administration. Administration would be nice. We can still appoint everybody. It kind of makes sense to just do that ASAP. So this is all that I have in my family. 4 spots for 3 people. Tech, quite good. Sister-in-law. Nobody else really comes close, so let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I might have to take the 27. So let's have my wife take over security. She's happy about that. And then we can appoint an administrator. I think we have to appoint my niece. I don't really have much else. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. So with all of that done, our stats are now way, way better. So we should be much, much stronger overall, especially militarily. Having the 75 from my father is absolutely bonkers. But in this game, you typically don't live that long. So he's already 64. He may not be around much longer. So that could potentially be a problem. So we currently are looking at 19 cash coming in. We are fine for vassals. So I have 3 or 4 vassals. So my vassals, I'm assuming it's going to be these 4, and I directly control DeCrux. Yeah, so I directly control DeCrux, and I have the 4 vassals. We can kind of subcontract things out as things go. So for this, we need administration. So we do have quite a bit, so we are getting +1. Technology helps as well. Money also helps, apparently. And then I still have some actions left to do something. I'm not sure what I'll do. I still have one person idle. Who is that? My brother. Okay, we want to keep my brother busy doing something. He is a good diplomat, but not as good as my sister. So I kind of feel like I need to find something for you to do. So, Laszlo. Yeah, I'm not sure what I can do with him. We can give him a job to do something. Improving relations. Let's take a look at family and see what I want to do. We don't have a lot of options left. I probably want to train me. I could probably have him do some training for me. So on Izar, Winfred Blackwell is in charge. Terabellum, Marie Price, Gertab, Delphina Dixon, Electra, Gillen Hobbs. So my brother doesn't actually control another system. That might be something we could look at doing eventually, giving him control of something. So what else can we do? Monitor vassals, think increases my tax. No, increases my vassal limit. We're fine on that though, that's fine. I don't have to do that. Don't need to change taxes, so that's okay. For my own personal actions, what does this do? Organize personal protection in case we want to think we're being assassinated. We could try for a child, another one. We could also do some training. That's about it. I might actually, let's do training. And I think I want to be trained in diplomacy. And I think I'm going to have my brother do it, even though his effectiveness is quite weak, because he's not doing anything right now. So it's really just kind of an excuse. Yeah, travel if you need to, that's fine. So it should increase slightly. We could try for another child. Since I do have one action left, and I'm not sure what else I want to do, honestly. For my family situation, we have the twins. It wouldn't be a bad idea maybe to have a third child. How are we on our family? Because there's a limit on how many family people you can have as well. We could give other people things to do. We could appoint guardians for people. There are people who aren't married that we could arrange marriages for. But I only have the 1 point at this point. This is like personal stuff. If you're on the council, like I said, it's been a while, and I'm kind of rusty, so I'm trying to pick things up. I might have to take a bit of a break and try to get back to where I was, knowing what was going on, come back in. But I do really like the way this game works with all the different family connections and stuff that are going on. But yeah, what can I do with my council members? There's got to be a way, I'm pretty sure, to order council members to do stuff. So I could still have them. I know I can do stuff directly from the planet. So like if I wanted to go to like Decrux, unrest is currently 18. It is going up, so we could do something. I might not have enough. Yeah, Quell and Rest requires 2. So we could work on that, have somebody assigned to working on that or building stuff, that kind of thing. Speaking of which, cash, we're only at like 19 bucks, which is kind of crazy. So with all the changes we made, I don't have too many vassals, so I don't know why it's still doing that. We're fine on vassals. Maybe it just hasn't updated. So last was 4.9, maybe now it's going to be 19, I'm not sure. So once we hit end turn, I think we'll get 19 bucks. 19 Astro bucks. Military should be way stronger now. But it's all kind of based on individual systems. So we could build up our military. I feel like I just don't have the actions left to do much. Improve defenses, rebuild the fleet, yeah, change ship composition. With only 1 action left, I think like all I can really do. There might be something. I wonder if I can appoint. Yeah, appoint a guardian, no, requires 2. So I think all I can really do is try for another child. Try to find somebody to marry someone. It's probably also 2. Yeah, arranged marriage is 5, actually. It's quite energy intensive. I hate wasting an action, so maybe we'll try to have another child, just as something to do. Because literally all I can do, so why not? Speaking of which, what is my house size limit? So there's limits on that. I know that, but what is my family size limit? If it gets too high, people do get very upset. It might be right in my face, I just don't see it. Let's take a look at family. I don't see anything indicating my family limits. I know there is one. Installations, unrest, wealth. All that kind of stuff is there. So we are getting a 0.08 to our diplomacy skill per turn, which is pretty awful. But it's something. It's keeping my brother busy instead of causing trouble. Maybe we'll build better relationships and stuff as we go forward, too, from that. Claims? I don't think I have any claims outside. Yes, we have a strong claim on rulership of the sovereignty and our home planet. the capital of Decrux, so nothing too complicated there. Yeah, where is my family limit? I know there's a family limit thing. I just don't know where it is. Here we go. Okay, so we're at 10 of 11 members. So we are actually pretty close. If I had a kid, that would be it. Would be maximum. That's potentially a problem. So it is affected by a variety of things. So the more wealthy we are, the more we can have. Five systems, 4 vassals. We're fine on all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. It might have popped up before, I just didn't notice. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do, we'll go ahead and end turn here. We'll jump ahead, see what happens. Might be some events and things. Lady Topaz Skinner wants marriage between Executive Verley Scrooge and Nibah Skinner. If you accept, your niece and Nibah Skinner will be married and will live in House Scrooge. So my niece is only 20. Nibah Skinner, 29. So he's inside our. So he is part of our family. He's inside the sovereignty. He's very good at technology at 57. But I can't really change out someone on the board without it causing problems, honestly. I'll accept it is potentially going to cause a problem with increasing the size of my family, though. Receive a message from Mitch Scrooge. Mitch is my nephew. Not sure if it's my brother or sister's kid at this point. Sir, I was wandering around the spaceport when I saw a bunch of smugglers. His eyes go wild. I snuck up on them and took one out with a chokehold, but the hologram is yanked around to reveal a scarred woman holding a gun to your nephew's head. The short version, my duke, is we've got your brat. By the stars, you think that child is too young for such antics. Options. So it gives me some chances and estimates. My diplomacy is really bad. Security is my best chance, it looks like, at a 48%. I really don't want to vent the cargo bay, so let's try to have security do it. Security team, breach the cargo bay. When the smoke clears, Mitch Scrooge is found, safe and sound. Thank you, he gasps. I'll be more careful, I promise. Duke Heiress Michiko Scrooge has insulted a dignitary from House Jarvis. House Jarvis is inside the neighboring Galway Alliance. I won't apologize, she shouts. They couldn't run an energy grid to save their lives. So, my diplomacy is pretty awful. We could agree with her, which makes her like us. It'll make the Duke dislike us more, but he already dislikes me, so yeah, whatever. The ambassador's eyes widen. Mark my words, my baron will hear of this. Give the chief fool my regards, you smirk. Your daughter accompanies you to a power bout. Look, she cries, pointing to one of the combatants on the monitor. Her energy readings are off the charts. I've only ever seen that in ancient tech. Cool. That is odd, you frown. Equipment that powerful isn't permitted in power bouts. Stop the bout and punish the cheater. Unrest goes up. It's not a huge deal. I think it's worth doing. They came for the sport, it seems, not the regulations. Nevertheless, word of your principled stance travels. So we're kind of more famous for being just, which is essentially what this is, but rebellion risk goes up on our planet. Is someone trying to tarnish your social standing on Decrux? Decrux's rumor mill carries whispers of discontent with your management of the system's internal affairs. House Scrooge's rumored failure to use properly trained representatives is being seen as disrespectful. We go, unfounded rumors can affect us. Neglected internal affairs increases unrest. Take the matter seriously. Set time apart from your busy schedule to investigate whether there's any truth to these rumors. It is going to take some money, but I think that's worth doing. Like all of my money. You and your sister conclude that DeCrux's internal affairs need fixing. House Scrooge's current envoy to DeCrux's minor houses are downright appalling. These courtiers lack any kind of social grace, badly dressed, poorly spoken, inappropriately forward. Some training is indeed needed. Yeah, I think let's have her, Atana, try to fix things. We don't have the money to fix things, so it's kind of up to her. It's a diplomatic issue. DeCrux's internal affairs shouldn't be an issue moving forward. With a capable group of courtiers at your service, House Scrooge's representatives with DeCrux's minor house is on better footing. Training has done so well that a foolish observer might think your servants are actually foreign nobles. So we now have the trait Flawless Local Diplomacy, plus 10 to our score in diplomacy, lasts for 10 years. Very nice. Alright, we have some new stuff going on. Keep thinking I can move the mouse a different way. So it didn't require any of my actions. Very nice. I'm actually liked now. We're actually pretty happy as well, which is interesting. We've got an event coming. So I do want to focus on technology in this as well, but man, my technology is really awful. So we'll see how that goes. We do have something going on under Crux. Minor event. Lady Topaz Skinner and Lady Mainred Kirk have forged an alliance. I want to read the rest of this. Why is it not letting me read the rest of this? I'm sure there's a way for me to read all of this, but it's being weird. There's probably, like, this is one of those things, I feel so rusty coming back to this. It's been almost a year since I played this last. If I zoom in, is it any better? No. Well, I mean, I can close it. But come on. There's got to be a way for me to look at that. History? So that was assigning everybody. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I think it's just sort of the minor houses on DeCrux marrying one another, which is not a huge deal. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead, we'll stop it here, and I'm going to do some experimenting and playing around with the faction and see if this is doable with my current build of the family and how things are going. But anyway, this is more of Star Dynasties. I'm DisturbingPuppet. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have a good one.